Are you self-managing your rental properties? Are you dealing with late rents, maintenance issues, and evictions? Whether you own one rental or 100, the difference between chaos and cash flow is a property management system that actually works. Hey, it's Bud Evans. I'm a real estate investor and owner of Second Street Property Management. We learned fast that chaos is the default unless you replace it with systems. Early on, we saw good tenants walk away, owners lose confidence, and cash flow bleed out. Not because the properties were bad, but because the operations were sloppy initially. That's when I was self-managing before I actually started the company. Well, that's when I decided to start a property management company like a disciplined operation. Today, I'm going to hand you the exact playbook that we use in New Jersey to keep properties safe, tenants satisfied, and owners profitable. Think of this as your blueprint. You can adapt it to your market, but keep the structure. Before we get rolling, do me a favor. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next step-by-step breakdown. The foundation of any property management system rests on 5 pillars: leasing, collections, maintenance, compliance, and finance. And holding those 5 together is a weekly operating rhythm. Leasing is everything from marketing to move-in. Collections is about getting paid on time and dealing with delinquencies. Maintenance refers to repair and vendor processes. Compliance covers safety checks, licenses, documentation, inspections. And finance is bookkeeping, cash control, and reporting. Sounds pretty simple, right? If you're trying to rehab your flips or rentals without losing your mind, do me a favor, go over to Flipper Force. It's a project management platform built for real estate investors. It's going to help you keep your budgets, your timelines, and your scopes tight so nothing slips. You can find the link to the description for 30 days free. So our rhythm is simple. One 60 to 90 minute meeting every week. In that meeting, we review metrics, wins, misses, and we attack the top 5 issues in order of impact. Each issue gets an owner and a deadline, and if it's not on the issues list, it's just noise, ignore it. At Second Street, we live by a principle. We use the EOS model, but standards beat heroics. You don't need a rock star to bail you out if you build a system that works every time. When I coached hockey, I used to tell my son, I can win a championship with 4 lines of average players instead of 1 line with great players. All right, step 1 is intake. Before a house becomes a door in your portfolio, it has to become a record in your system. That means you're gathering every piece of information you'll need so anyone on your team can manage it tomorrow without calling you. Here's what we look for: owner's goals, rent target, reserve requirements, and the authority to approve repairs up to a certain amount. We set $250 normally and $700 for emergencies. We keep a deed or a property management agreement on file, W-9, insurance declarations, and HOA rules if they're going to apply. We build a property profile, bed and bath count, the age of major systems, what utilities they're using, trash day, parking notes, and a school district. We run safety surveys like HUDs, housing quality standards, checklists, smoke and CO detectors, GFCI outlets, secure handrails, working windows, no trip hazards. We also take photos using HappyDo. We also capture marketing assets and professional photos and a 60-second walkthrough video. When that's done, we have a single source of truth for the property. If someone new joins our team tomorrow, they can manage that property from the file without missing a beat. Now let's talk about leasing. Vacancy days are silent profit killers, so we compress them with sequencing, not just speed. Marketing goes live the same day across our site and major portals. We always post at least 10 photos, at least 3 key features, and state the pet policy right up front. We also throw in an asterisk that we accept HCVs if it's possible. Every inquiry is going to get an auto response with screening criteria and application link. Applicants are pre-screened for income, credit, background, and rental history. If the demand is high, we require applications before showings. If demand is low, we show first and then we encourage them to get applications out. Every serious lead gets a quick rent talk light over the phone. 5 minutes to explain due dates, fees, maintenance, and quirks of the home. Good tenants are going to appreciate your clarity. Bad tenants, well, they're just going to be bad. If you want help building these systems for your exact market and portfolio, head over to budevans.com and book a free strategy session. It's not a sales pitch. I just really want to help you get started the right way. Our screening is extremely strict. We verify income with pay stubs and bank statements. We call prior landlords and ask one question: would you rent to them again? Sometimes it turns out to be a brother or a cousin, but we go through that too. We run credit, background through our software. We document every approval or denial reason. We go through fair housing standards and retain records as required. Once we approve them, tenants are going to sign a digital lease with addenda for utilities, maintenance expectation, property rules, pest control. Who's going to deal with all that? We have a concierge service for them to help them move their utilities. Move-in's going to include an orientation, how do we pay, what's an emergency, how to request service, and a full photo documented condition report. Deposits are handled exactly as the state law requires. In New Jersey, we just create an escrow account. At Second Street, we believe people remember what they sign and what they hear, but it doesn't always work out that way. A strong move-in talk prevents 80% of the drama you're ever going to face. Let's talk collections. Money wants a clear path. Rent should be easy to pay and hard to ignore. Most of our payments are ACH right through our tenant portal. We do allow money orders, and we have a system for that called Pay Near Me, and that's a backup. We discourage personal checks because sometimes they're never going to go through, especially from chronic late payers. 10 days before rent is due, tenants receive an auto message reminding them, hey, your rent's going to be due in 10 days. 5 days before the rent is due, the portal opens. The day the rent is due, it tells them the rent's due. And listen, by the way, one of the best decisions I made was joining the War Room with David Perret. Having the right mentor and the right network can really save you years and thousands of dollars in mistakes. So don't go it alone. Get in the right room. You can join me over there. I'm actually in the network. I don't own the place. Dave does. But it is a great organization and a great network of people. All right, let's get back to it. The reminder cadence is simple here. 5 days before we're due, we send an upcoming rent reminder. The day after we're due, we send a polite late notice with the fee schedule. After the grace period, we issue a pay or quit notice in full compliance with the state law, which in New Jersey doesn't really require one, but we want to make sure that we give them every opportunity to pay. And then we get proof of delivery on that. That's usually just an email receipt, and then we send them a text message. If tenants request a payment plan, it's got to be in writing with specific dates and amounts. If they mess that up, we resume the legal process. The ledger has to stay immaculate. Screenshots and text messages do not win in court, but good ledgers do, along with screenshots and text messages. Our rule here is kindness with clarity. We can listen and we document, and we follow the policy every time. I use OpenPhone, which automatically transcribes all my calls. I copy and drop it right into the tenant's ledger. And that brings us to delinquency and legal. Once an account crosses the line, stop improvising. Have a system. Our flow looks like this. First, review the ledger, issue the notice with proof. Second, attempt one resolution, one payment plan, max. Third, if the default continues, don't wait. Go to your attorney and have them process it. At that point, we assemble an evidence pack. We got our lease, our ledgers, our rental registrations, our inspections, notice proofs of delivery, photos, and a simple timeline. In court, we're going to present short, factual statements. No stories, no fluff, just evidence. If we regain possession, we change the locks and launch the turn plan on the same day. If delays are long, it's New Jersey, or the unit is at risk, we may use cash for keys. I've tried it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Means a written agreement, keys are returned, a set date, broom clean verification, and funds are released only after we get the keys back. We do the walkthrough and we change the locks right there. At Second Street, our mindset is resolution, not revenge. The fastest lawful path back to a performing unit is the right one. All right, maintenance is next. A sloppy process bleeds cash and reputation. We use service levels and proof to stay tight. We use a program called Vendoroo, which has an AI. They answer 24/7, 365. Our requests are triaged into 3 categories. Emergencies are life safety issues or active water or your air conditioner's out in the middle of summer. Vendors are dispatched immediately, and then the tenant gets an ETA within 30 minutes, hopefully. If not, usually about an hour. Urgent requests like HVAC outages in that summer season or non-active leaks are handled within 24 to 48 hours. Routine issues, cosmetics, minor appliances, slow drains, they're going to be resolved within 3 to 7 days, and we're going to answer that on the next business day if it happens over the weekend. Every ticket requires photos or video, access notes, and budget authority. If the cost is under our set limit, it's auto-approved. If it's over, we require a photo and an estimate, and then the owner gets a call. Vendors are dispatched with clear objectives. Tenants get automated updates when a ticket is scheduled and when a technician is en route. Vendors upload before and after photos and notes, and the invoice is attached to the ticket. We also provide 24 hours notice to the tenant, and if they're not able to be there, we will go in. We score vendors on time, percentage, first-time fix rate, average ticket size, and warranty call rate. Poor fits, they're replaced fast, okay? We need reliable partners. They're rewarded. We give them more jobs. Turns are where most of our landlords are going to bleed. Our system is built around keeping people in the building first, second around choreography. So on possession day, locks are changed, utilities are switched, full photo set is captured, including ceilings, under sinks, odors. We note every detail. We have an app for that. We have a pre-written make-ready scope of common items for touch-up paint, LVP repairs, deep cleaning, bulbs, filters, curb appeal, cleaners, painters, and handymen. They're all booked in sequence with hard dates. Materials like touch-up paint and smoke detectors are pre-staged. Photos are scheduled before the last wipe down, and the listing goes live immediately. We usually start this process 30 days before the tenant moves out, and we try to show it during that period of time. Our target is to have someone in there 7 days for a single family and staggered schedules for small multis. We track turn time and days to lease monthly, and any outliers get investigated. Compliance and risk are cheap to do, but costly to ignore. In our market, that means lead safe certificates, chimney certificates, HVAC certificates, required annual smoke and CO verifications, GFCIs in wet areas, secure railings, and working windows. We also maintain rental licenses and schedule municipal inspections with 60, 30, and 7-day reminders. And then sometimes they still don't show up. Documentation retention is non-negotiable. We have to keep applications, criteria, approval, and denial letters, leases, addenda, notices, and inspection reports. Fair housing responses are standardized and staff are trained with scripts. Insurance is verified annually. We encourage or require tenant renters insurance, but sometimes they don't always pay. Owners are listed as additional insureds on property policies when they're appropriate. Our habit is to pass inspections the first time. Build the checklist once and then use it every time. Sometimes it doesn't always work. We cannot control what an owner does prior to us taking their property on. But finance and reporting is really what's going to tie it all together. We separate operating accounts, security deposits in their own escrow, and then reserves. We reconcile weekly and code expenses consistently. We use 1099s on time and keep W-9s for every vendor. We also make sure that they have current insurance every year. Owners get monthly statements with income, expenses by category, reserve levels, and notes on delinquencies and maintenance reports. Quarterly updates include a narrative on vacancy rate, turn time, maintenance per door, and upcoming capital projects. And hopefully, if we do it right, we don't have any vacancy. Our key performance indicators are collections percentage, NOI trends, DSCR where leveraged, tickets opened and closed, first-time fixed rates, turn time, and cash on hand. We review them weekly. We assign owners and any slippage and deadlines to fix them. Communication, though, is the glue. Confusion creates angry tenants and angry owners, and sometimes a lot of nerves. Tenants will get a welcome email with instructions on how to pay. Usually I set that up while we're there doing the walkthrough. How to request their service and what counts as an emergency and office hours. That's all in an addendum. They do get automated updates on maintenance tickets and quick surveys after service. Renewal reminders go out at 90, 60, and 30 days with clear options. We try to keep people on at least 1-year lease, and we'll go up to 3. Owners are going to get alert on tickets that set above the threshold with context and recommendations. Monthly updates are going to summarize our wins, our risks, and our numbers. They can schedule quarterly calls, and every year we go hold a review to align on goals. We're actually getting in the process now where we're going to be doing monthly calls from me to the owners talking about all of that so that they're not shocked after 12 months. Our principle is fast, factual, and friendly. When something goes wrong, we want to over-communicate, not under-communicate so everybody's guessing. Technology makes us repeatable. We don't need fancy, we need consistent. Property management software handles applications, leases, portals, tickets, and accounts. We use the digital signature tools for notices and addendas in the Buildium software that we use. A shared inbox and CRM handles communications. That's all inside Buildium. A structured cloud drive organizes every property by leasing, maintenance, compliance, and finance. We record short loom videos as SOP. We use scribe.com in order to make our SOP easily readable. And then members can be trained quickly that way. Each system has a one-page runbook, the trigger, the steps, the tool, the output, and the KPI that proves it works. So let's go through our breakdown here. How do you install all of this in 30 days if you're going to self-manage? Week 1, get your SOPs done for leasing, collections, and maintenance. Create templates for your listings, your approvals, your denials, and your notices. Build your intake form and your safety checklists. Week 2, configure your software. Doesn't matter what you're using. Set up your portals and your reminders, build your shared inbox, and draft your owner statement template. Week 3, lock in vendor relationships with photo policies. Confirm your attorney for filings, if you need them. Hopefully you don't. And assemble your evidence pack template. Week 4, you're going to publish your KPI scoreboard, hold your first ops huddle, and run a drill. Create a fake ticket, dispatch it, close it out with photos, and send a mock owner update. Run through an exercise on an eviction. Perfection here isn't required. Repeatability is. The most common failure modes are predictable. Undefined standards mean tenants get different answers and lose trust. Verbal promises on change orders and payment plans always backfire. Everything has to be written down. Master metered utilities will bleed you dry. Make sure you're using a RUBS or something on a multifamily unit. Passing inspections requires preparation, not hope. Hope is not a plan. And a hero culture, when one person holds the process in their head, means you don't have a system. You have a person. And that's not going to work if they're sick. Here's a closing thought. Start with one property and then run the full cycle using the systems. Capture what breaks, update the SOP, retrain, and keep moving. When a tenant thanks you for fast service or an owner compliments your clarity, that's a process win. Document it, make sure you codify it, and then bake it into your systems. At 2nd Street, we've learned that when your systems are sharper than your property's problems, you stop firefighting and start compounding your wins. That's the point of owning rentals in the first place, isn't it? One more thing. check out EOS1.com. We do use the entrepreneurial operating system made famous by Gino Wickman, and I highly recommend reading Traction, one of his books, and then using EOS1 for your vision traction organizer and all of your metrics. Track your KPIs, have your meeting once a week. It's auto-timed. All right, that's it for today. If this breakdown was useful, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. I'm Bud Evans. Aim high, execute fast, and I'll see you on the next one.